Welcome back to another District 75 AI tutorial. Today we'll be taking a look at Google Gemini and the Storybook Gem. This gem will allow you to create customized stories with illustrations that will support your students and help provide you with age-appropriate content for your students' reading level. First, you can open up to Google Gemini by navigating to gemini.google.com. Once you arrive here, make sure you're signed into your Google account and you'll look for the NYC Public Schools icon. Gemini has many uses, but did you know that you can make your own custom stories and edit the images to reflect your student population and incorporate student interests? This is where AI can really shine when it comes to customization and differentiation. Generally, when you use Gemini, you could enter the prompt directly into the text box here on the screen. But today we're going to be working on a storybook. So we're going to have to navigate through the menu on the left panel of the screen. It might be collapsed, so make sure you click on this hamburger menu and then look for the word gems. You can click on the word gems or the arrow. This tutorial is meant to be used synchronously, so you can pause here to follow along. Welcome back. To provide some additional context, a gem is what Google calls it when they create a saved template for a conversation. It's a way to tell the AI every time I open up this specific chat, I want you to already know these things without me having to repeat them. Google has conveniently set up some of these preset ones, including the one we'll review today, Storybook. I already have a prompt set up right here, so I'm going to paste it in. This story is for my 1211 classroom of students with disabilities who are in 12th grade. Create a story that explains the functions of simple machines that involves forces in motion, includes simple machines such as lever, pulley, wheel and axle, screw, wedge, and inclined plane. Devise the story so it's developmentally appropriate for my high school age students, but the reading level is at a 3rd grade level. Provide that context to make sure that it's not leaving anything up to guessing, and the AI understands who the audience is for this. So I'm going to click on here where it says submit. All right, after about 2 minutes, it was able to produce this book, but now we want to make sure and read through it, make sure it makes sense, make sure it's appropriate for our students. So let's take a look. They titled this the Big Garden Project. So if I click on here, it'll turn the pages. And if you want to listen to it, you can click over here. All right, so that's actually a pretty good usage of the inclined plane. Let's go to the next page here. So Zola uses a metal pole, uses a lever. Okay, maybe. If not, we could always fix it. Malik uses wheelbarrow. Okay, wheel and axle. That makes sense. She uses a pulley. Okay, and we can go back to the beginning. Okay, so that's a pretty short story. It mostly gave pretty good examples. I didn't love the lever one, so I'm going to see if I could edit by coming back here. And one of the names of the games when it comes to AI is iteration. Very often, even with a really well-written prompt, you're not going to get exactly what you want on the first try. So let's try this again. And in fact, I want to change a couple things and see how much it actually changes it. I want to make it in a city. This might be a city, but I want to make it seem more urban. So can we make the images reflect more of an urban environment? And change the students. Let's say we wanted to use this for elementary school instead. Elementary age students. Okay, and let's try that one more time. All right, after about 2 minutes, we have some edits here, and they changed it to the City Garden Engineers. And this has students who are younger, and it's still talking about a garden. And it's still using the same types of examples here. Not bad, not bad. Maybe this reflects more of the students that you might be working with. So, it was pretty easy to change it. I'm not going to read through everything on here, but if you are using this in your classroom, make sure to read through every single page to ensure that it is all appropriate. It all makes sense for what you're doing for your students. One thing I did notice is that there are more words on these pages than it was in the previous story. So I like this story better and I like the images better, but I want to reduce the amount of words per page. So I'm going to edit a prompt that just says reduce the number of words on each page, but keep intact the main ideas of each page. Okay, let's see if that's better. Okay, after a third prompt, I think that this story does a better job of representing each of the simple machines. It has less words on each page. It doesn't have the theme of the garden anymore, but I kind of like this better. It wasn't really necessary to have a garden. The whole point was to show how simple machines work. And this was a much better representation of that. The last thing I'd like to review is just you can go full screen if you wanted to use this in class. If you wanted to download a PDF version of this, you can click on this download button, just keeping in mind that you would have to use a screen reader for it to read out loud. But if you want to read it out loud right in this gem, you could do so just by clicking on that. They also have options for different pitches of voice, where to start, and you could do the listen in full screen.
Use AI responsibly and consider the environmental impact. For more information or to provide feedback, please visit www.d75stem.com/AI. Thanks for watching.